Hey my beautiful Leo peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ant from CancerMoonsTarot and welcome in here to your yearly tarot reading for the year of 2024. How are you? Hope you guys are doing well. Do want to mention as always before we start, if you're interested in a personal reading, check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com, first link in the description below if you want to book me there. Without a further ado though, Team Leo, let's get on into this and see what we got showing up here for you at this time. We're going to start out here first and foremost with your three big themes for the year of 2024. So these are your three major themes. We'll see what we got going on, and then we'll expand a little bit on these themes as well, and then get into the rest of what we got here for you today. So let's take a look here and see what is up for Leo. So we're going to take a look here into the three major themes for Leo: Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Zodiac, coming on in to the overall yearly forecast of 2024. What do we got showing up for you? Disregard my very sloppy shuffling at this moment and bear with me. We're probably going to get at least one or two more shuffles and we'll see what we got going on for you, okay? All right, Team Leo, starting out here with the first theme for you. We have here Manifest. I love it. I think Gemini's got Manifest too, which is really, really cool to see. So definitely could be a massive year, Leo, of manifesting your wildest dreams. Having a look here at the next theme, Sadness and Isolation. More so overcoming it, though, which I like. As you can see the person at the bottom here who's kind of upside down. They're going through it, but then it's like a new person here is born, right? So I definitely think that probably throughout periods of isolation, if you dealt with that, in those periods, you weren't wasting time. You were leveling up here, Leo, but we'll get into that in a bit. I definitely feel like I'm gonna have a lot to share with that card. Anyhow, though, let's get our last major theme for your year. Excuse me, and that's gonna be Love Abounds. Cool. I like the energy so far. I think this is going to be a good one. So let's go ahead here and take a look. Now, Leo, we start out here with this manifest card. So getting into manifestation for 2024, it is a time where if you align your beliefs and you align your actions, you can make whatever you want happen. Now, I tend to tell people, if you want the secret recipe to manifesting, that secret recipe is going to require two things. We're going to need the law of attraction and we're going to need the law of action. If you combine those two together, you create, you manifest. So what 2024 is going to require of you is for you to allow yourself to align your beliefs, okay? So let's say first and foremost, in 2024, what you want to manifest is a full-time business. You want to create a business for yourself. You want to manifest that and bring it into your reality. The first step of what you're going to do here in 2024 is believe in the business that you are creating. Make sure you're creating something you believe in. Maybe you really love fashion. So if you love it, do something you're passionate about. That's always a plus, and especially in terms of attraction. However, though, at the same time, believe in the fact that you can do it. If you can believe that you can create a fashion industry or become a new industry standard in fashion or create like a wonderful, successful fashion business, if you genuinely believe you will do that, you will. But you also have to add the law of action, meaning that you have to take action and take those steps in what you believe in. So if you believe that you can create this fashion business, then believe in it, but then start taking the action to do it. Make a website, start partnering with people, start figuring out the kind of clothing you want to create, the clothing you want to sell. If you can combine the action with the belief aspect, you will manifest, okay? So definitely feels like a time where a lot of you guys are stepping up this year saying, you know what? I want to manifest my wildest dreams. I want to make things happen, and I'm here to show up and do it. Now, let's get these expansion cards. We're going to expand, which is basically just clarification on this manifest card. So let's see what comes out for you. Give me some info and insight regarding the manifest theme for Leo's year in 2024. Let's go ahead and take a look. First pair we have here is going to be the High Priestess, and we have here the Emperor. Yeah, you know, High Priestess here is kind of like a deep realization. I think a lot of you are activating this year your ability to manifest, and honestly, what that genuinely is activating at a core is your ability to believe in yourself. In prior years, maybe you've had belief in yourself, but maybe you felt like it was more half-assed than full-fledged belief in who you are and what you're capable of doing. But I think that coming into 2024, it's a special time where you actually genuinely believe in your ability to do what you set out to do. So High Priestess to me says your belief is finally becoming empowered. You are finally putting energy into what you believe in. You can see it as true. You believe that you can make things happen. Now we have here the Emperor as well. And the Emperor is great because the Emperor is about getting into boss mode. It's about recognizing that what you're in control in, you can create. You know, in terms of law of attraction, if something's outside of yourself, you're not creating that, right? So for example, a person and their journey and their timeline, that's something you can't create because that's that own individual's life and their own individual creation. However, though, when it comes to what you're in control of, like your job, what you want to do for money, the types of things you have, if we're looking at materialism and materialistic things and values in the 3D reality, if you want to create materialistic things, you most certainly can. If you want to manifest love for yourself, you certainly can. I touched base on this in a daily reading actually yesterday, or it might have been, sorry, it was the weekend read, where essentially I said, you cannot manifest a specific person necessarily, but you can manifest somebody that embodies the similar qualities you're looking for. So if you want to manifest love, get descriptive this year. Write out the perfect partner you're looking for. Now, let's just say the perfect partner is somebody in your life named Jessica or somebody in your life named Brandon, right? At the end of the day, you might not be able to specifically manifest Brandon or Jessica, but you can manifest somebody who embodies those same exact qualities. The thing about manifestation is that we can never overrule somebody's free will. However, though, we can attract in somebody who's on a certain vibration. So what vibration does Brandon carry? What vibration does Jessica carry? Now, depending upon those vibrational frequencies, if that is what you're setting out to attract and believe that you can resonate with, then you're going to manifest that here as well. So the key here with the Emperor is what are you in control in? Anything that doesn't impede on somebody else's free will is free range for you to create. So definitely utilize that this year as much as you can to the best of your ability. Now let's go ahead and get one more card. One more expansion card. Boom, we got here 4 Wands. I love it. Yeah, I think for most of you, what you're manifesting this year is just genuinely a very happy environment. Most of you are looking to get the most out of your environment this year in 2024, it feels like. Like, I want to make sure I have, stable finances. I want to make sure that I can manifest stable connections, maybe even stable romantic relationships. But what many of you are looking to manifest this year is just a happy environment. I want my friends and family to be happy and healthy. I want to be happy and healthy. I want everybody to be getting money this year. I want everybody to just be in a good space. And that is what you guys are primarily manifesting. And so mote it be, right? If that's the energy and intention you're putting out here for the year, if you wholeheartedly believe in it, if you take action and you do the healthy stuff to get that result, you're going to see yourself manifesting those things. So I love this coming out for you as a major theme. Do remember, the secret sauce to manifestation is just the law of attraction and the law of action. Combine those both, and we are manifesting here, Team Leo. So this year, it definitely feels like you're bringing things into your reality you've wanted because you finally reawakened that genuine belief within yourself, okay? Absolutely wonderful. Now, moving into the next theme, sadness and isolation. I touched basis on you guys with this card about how you see in the beginning, this person's kind of upside down. They look very depressed. They look sad. They look like they're drowning almost. And then we have this individual here on another scene of the card, essentially rising up. It looks like they're going through an ascension, if you will, right? And I think for many of you, that's actually kind of makes a lot of sense. Maybe in 2023, it could have been a year of sadness and isolation. However, though, entering 2024, it's time to ascend from that. So 2023 could have been the year of the hermit. Maybe you felt very hermity in 2023. You kept to yourself a lot, or you went through a lot, and you didn't really express that with other people. This year, this is the year where you're fully expressing yourself. You're fully ascending. You're coming out of this sad space and isolated space, and you're ready to get back into reality. So I feel very strongly here with this theme showing up for you. It's about deciding to put yourself back out there, to recognize that your world is yours for the taking. And it's time to not let life pass you by, but however, it's time to go with the flow of life and really start putting your life and taking control and putting it in the direction which you desire for this entire year in 2024. So that's really, really good stuff here. But let's get these expansion cards on this theme and see what's going on. All right, let's expand on the theme here of sadness and isolation for Leo throughout the year of 2024. What do we got? We got here the 8 of Swords. We also have here the 10 of Cups. And lastly, we have here the King of Cups showing up as well. Yeah, I think what sucks and what happens for a lot of people is when they get trapped inside their head, that's usually when people most likely feel isolated and sad. So I think to a degree, Leos, many of you might have felt really stuck inside your head. You might have felt very alone. over the past couple months or even the past year. But coming into 2024, this is a time to really open up to the people around you. This is the time to be more expressive instead of being repressive. And I think that this is a major theme, because what you'll notice as a theme in your life is in 2024, you're feeling more optimized to share. You're feeling more optimized to be open rather than to be repressive. Maybe once again, 2023 could have been a year of you repressing a lot. However, though, this year, I feel like you want strong connection to people. And what is going to create that strong connection? What creates that strong connection is going to be being open and honest, wearing your heart on your sleeve, showing people how you really feel, tapping into your authenticity. And I really feel like for many of you, you're showing that. I think one of the greatest values 2024 is going to teach you guys in terms of a theme is that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not have to always be happy 24/7 or live a life that's perfect. I think there's still a lot of people, even to this day, who feel very worrisome to show their actual reality. You know, a lot of people, especially if you look online and you see social media influencers and things of that nature, you know, they always look like they're living the perfect life. They're happy all the time. They're happy 24/7. I'm here to tell you it's bullshit. They're not. What you're looking at is a falsified reality. At the end of the day, like me, like you, like the fucking Pope, everybody's got their problems. Everybody has days where they're angry. Sometimes people have days where they're sad. Sometimes people have days where they're incredibly happy and they're over the moon. The truth is we're human. We're going to go through these intense emotions. And I think one of the most valuable lessons you're learning this year is it's okay to own that. 110%. It's okay to own the shit I'm going through. If I'm not having a good day, fuck it. I'm not having a good day. I'm going to own that shit. I'm not going to repress it. I'm not going to put on a smile, even though it ain't real, because that wouldn't be authentic. So you're going to be in this space this year where I think for many of you, you're not afraid anymore. You're not repressing yourself. You're not living inside your head. You're being open. And that is so fucking healthy for you guys. And it's going to help you so much in your day-to-day life. For the people that repress constantly, it makes them more so feel stuck in sadness and isolation. So by being more expressive here in 2024, it's going to be massive for you, because it's going to help you open up. It's going to help you release. It's going to have people, 10 of Cups, like friends and family, be there for you, because at the end of the day, humanity and humans are social by nature. And it's fantastic when we can have, you know, the people in our lives be there for us as well. And King of Cups showing up, it's going to help you get to a space where you feel so much better emotionally. You know, for the person who bottles up their feelings and emotions, they're, you know, prone to explode inevitably and potentially hurt other people and themselves. However, though, when you're constantly just repressing, you're going to feel alone in this world. But at the same time, when you're being open and expressive and just being honest about how you feel and owning those feelings, it's a great way to process what you're feeling in a very healthy manner, release and let go, and feel better overall on an emotional level. So I think you guys can definitely expect to see a massive change from 2023 into 2024 in how you're owning how you feel, you're taking back control, and you're no longer feeling so isolated. So this looks really, really good, okay? Now, lastly, for your major theme, love abounds. I love this, Leo. It can be love coming in for you, so this can be a romantic connection coming in for some of you this year. So love abounds could mean you're meeting the love of your life in 2024, you're finding a romantic partner. However, though, it also could be the energy where love just starts to show up in your life again, where this could be love with family, love with friendships, love and peace within your connections. So it feels like you're tapping into an environment that's very loving and supporting here. And I think for a lot of you, besides just talking about romantic love and things of that nature, this could be the energy of finding like love and connection with a soul tribe, like finding the people in your life who are your soul tribe, who are your soul fam, who you genuinely are connected with, where there's unconditional love, where there's positive vibes, where there's good energy all the freaking time. So I do see that being the case here as a theme for many of you. But yeah, I think love's going to show up in many different ways for you guys this year. Whether it be friendships, romance, whether it's about reigniting love and family situations and family connections, because sometimes with family members, you can go through some deep and tough shit, but inevitably you can find your way back to a loving place as well. So some of you may be rebuilding relationships with mothers and fathers and, you know, other family members, especially if those relationships have been pretty broken and pretty hard for many, many years. This could be the year where it's time to rebuild that. So that's a very beautiful thing I think many of you will see here as a major theme this year. Okay? All right, though, let's get into it. Let's expand. What do we got here in terms of expansion cards for Love Abounds for this theme? We have here the Devil. We also have here the Three of Cups. And lastly, we have here the Nine of Cups coming into play for you. I also think for many of you guys, the way you view love and perceive love is something that's going to massively change in 2024 as well. So I think what you can see as a major theme too is the way you're looking at love is totally different. If you're a person who felt that love was codependency in the past, if you're a person who believed that there's no genuine people in this world to love because everybody's fake, your whole identity, or more so your whole perspective of love, is about to change. You're about to experience what real and true genuine love is. Unconditional love is coming into your life here in 2024, and if you've had any sort of negative perceptions, prior, you're not going to feel that way any longer. Three of Cups coming into play for you is happiness and joy, so this is going to be a year filled with genuine connection. Guys, there's so much opportunity in 2024 for you to make new friends, to make new connections, to fall in love with people, to, be around people you love. It's going to be a year of embracing the love, okay? And lastly, we have here the Nine of Cups, which is the energy of fulfillment and happiness. And I think in terms of environment, you're going to be feeling like you are surrounded by the most loving people. Whether it's the most loving family, the most loving friends, the most loving kind of people to work with. Maybe this is the energy this year where some of you are starting a business and you're starting to see the love show up in that business. Some of you may start a YouTube channel or something in social media and you're getting all this love and attention. You could be building communities and stuff of that nature, especially in social media. So that's something you could see showing up here at this time too. But either way, love abounds. Love is all around in 2024. One thing I want to say though is you have to be willing to access it. Okay, so remember how I said most of you are changing your perception? Keep in mind, if you don't change your perception on love, what you perceive is what you get. So if you're the person who has certain belief systems, like, I don't believe anybody ever truly really loves me. I believe that people are only here because they want something. Let's say that's a belief system you have. If you keep up that belief system, you're always going to find people who are looking to use you rather than love you. Because at the end of the day, you attract what it is you are. You attract what it is you believe. So you want to be very, very mindful of belief systems in 2024 too, especially your beliefs about love. The more we focus on that, and especially if your beliefs about love are negative, if we can change those beliefs into something positive, you're going to see a whole different kind of energy of what you're going to attract, which is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So like I mentioned previously, if you believe that, people only come into my life to use me, not genuinely love me, if we switch that up to people come into my life because they love me, because they love my authenticity, because they're genuine, then you're going to start attracting really genuine, authentic people. So be mindful of your beliefs here at this time too, as that's going to help you out with this major theme in 2024. Okay. All right, Leo, so far that was a jam pack of information to start with your three major themes. We're now going to hop on into your roses of the year for 2024. Now, if you're wondering what roses are, it is essentially the highs of the year. It's all the good stuff that you guys are mainly going to see happen for you in 2024. And then after the roses, we'll get into the thorns, which are kind of like the lows of the year. But as I always mention with tarot is 100% avoidable. So if you see thorns that you don't like, you can avoid it. That's why we're giving you this information ahead of time, right? So we're doing this reading for the entire year. You get the information ahead of time. If you encounter something you don't like, then with your free will, you have the ability to change it, right? All right, though, let's hop into it. We're going to take a look here at your roses, your rose section now. So let's take a look, and let's start out here with the first rose for our lovely Leos. All right, what information do we have here for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiac regarding their first rose for the year of 2024? Let's take a look here, baby. Did we get two cards? Yes, we did. We have here a Seven of Wands, and we have here the Tower. Taking a look here at the next rose coming in for Leos. What do we got showing up for you guys throughout the year of 2024? We have here the Eight of Swords, and we have here the World card. And looking at your final rose, Team Leo, what do we got? We have here the King of Wands, and we have here the Five of Wands showing up here as well. So let's hop on into it. We're going to start with your first rose first. I'll explain what this rose is saying, and then we'll get into some expansion cards here as well. So Leos, you have here a Tower and a Seven of Wands as your first rose for the year, your first high of the year. The Tower is great because it represents awareness. It represents awakening and waking up to something massive, okay? Now, the Seven of Wands showing up for you is defense mechanisms. It's defense mechanisms, it's coping, it's pushing things away or people away. I think one of the greatest things you guys can see this year is how you're becoming very aware and awakened to, have I pushed people away in the past? Do I have defense mechanisms in place that are hurting me rather than helping me. And as you become aware of this, you have the opportunity to change it. This is about not being scared anymore of people hurting me. If people hurt me, fuck it, I embrace it. However, though, by being open and vulnerable, that puts me in a spot to really connect with people on a deep level, on a level that's valuable, on a level that's powerful. And if I'm in an energy where I'm always on the defense, or where I'm always kind of wearing my armor and trying to protect myself, if you're in that energy, you're never going to really deeply connect with people. You're always going to push people away. So I think that if you've had that kind of defense mechanism where you've been very, very emotionally withdrawn in the past, you've pushed people away, you haven't let people in, 2024 is the year of vulnerability for you. But it's vulnerability that feels good, because even if people fuck you over, you own it, you let it go, you move forward. You know, we have to expect in life that we're going to encounter shitty people, but we also have to expect that we're going to encounter great people too, because we live in a reality of duality. This 3D reality is going to show us both sides of the coin. We're going to have great people, we're going to have crappy people, and that's just simply going to be that. So with this being said here, as your first rose, you're becoming aware to what has been holding you back from being able to deeply connect with people, to go towards your dreams, to really pursue what you want. I think a lot of Leos have felt shut down in the past. Therefore, it created a coping mechanism for you. Maybe when it came to pursuing a dream, you shot yourself down before you even got started. And you did that because I don't want to get hurt in case it doesn't work out, so I might as well just shoot it down now, not even try, so that I can prevent getting hurt later on in the future. Same thing with love. Maybe you really liked somebody in the past, but you decided to not go for it because, well, what if they didn't want me? So I'm saving myself the pain, I'm saving myself the hurt. But what you're doing also is you're missing out on what could work. Because what if you never shot your shot, right, with somebody that you really cared about? What if you did shoot your shot and they fucked with you and they wanted to be with you and they wanted to have a relationship with you? Well, you missed out on that opportunity by never giving it a go. So your first rose here this year says, I'm not afraid to get hurt. I'm not wearing armor. I'm going to be vulnerable. And as scary as that can be, this is an awesome high of the year, because it's going to allow you to have deep, deep, deep connections with people. It's going to allow you to go after what you desire. It's going to make you a person who's fearless, okay? And that's a very, very powerful energy. So let's expand on this and get you guys your information here, okay? So what do we have here for this first rose for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout the year 2024. Let's take a look. We have here the Two of Pentacles, and we have here the Ace of Swords. Absolutely. It's like you're realizing in 2024, it's like, if I keep on teeter-tottering around the idea of being vulnerable or being emotionally withdrawn, I'm not going to get anywhere. You know, Ace of Swords is about a massive realization. The realization you're having is like, my life's not going to go in the direction I want it to unless I'm willing to be open. And you know what? Sometimes, unfortunately, being open results in being hurt, but we're going to get hurt many times throughout our lifetime. Might as well own it, say fuck it, move forward, so that we can still be open to the good stuff too. Because if we're closed off to the pain, we're also closed off to the good stuff. So I think for you guys, you got to a point in your life where it was like, I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of not connecting with people on a deep level. I'm tired of shooting myself down before going after what I desire. I'm tired of living this life where I'm always in a state of fear or always in a state of self-protection, because it's not allowing me to grow and do the things I want to do. It's just protecting me. And that is only going to be satisfying for so long. You know, so it's nice to see that switch up. It's nice to be vulnerable again, because you see now that you have the ability to possibly, you know, have good stuff come in too. And this time you're not going to pass it up because you're open. All right, taking a look here at the next expansion set for you. We have here the Magician. I love it. And we have here the Three of Cups. Like I mentioned with your first theme that came out for the year, Manifest, Magician card represents manifestation too. For people who are closed off and are not trying to receive anything, you're not going to be able to manifest, right? So if you are in a state of self-preservation and self-protection, you can't manifest opportunities because you're not willing to receive anything. The moment you're closed off is the moment you're also closed off from reception from the universe. Now, being in the Magician energy, that means you're open. You're opening up your flow. So whatever happens, happens. I feel like many of you are embodying that mentality, but that mentality is going to be incredibly strong for you and pay off for you throughout this year, because it's going to allow the good stuff in. Three of Cups. So I love this rose for you. I don't know if every Leo has felt this way previously. If it resonates, take it. If not, no worries. But, you know, maybe in 2023 in the past, you felt like you always needed to protect yourself and screw being open and screw feelings and screw people. I'm just going to do me. You could have been in that energy previously. Maybe you were in that energy as well in the beginning of the year. But I think one of the greatest things about this rose for 2024 is that you won't be in this energy all year long. You're shifting it, you know? I'm willing to wear my heart on my sleeve even if I get hurt. I'd rather at least have that chance on having something good or someone good, you know? Instead of not, giving something a chance in life, I'd rather give it a chance, because what if it works out, you know? So you're opening yourself up to be able to receive, and that's incredibly fucking powerful. And I think not only are you going to receive and manifest some good shit, but you're going to be in an energy where your receptivity, if that's even a word, is going to give you so much more than you even thought. So being receptive is really going to give you guys a lot and grant you guys a lot in 2024. Now, getting into your next rose, everybody, we have here the Eight of Swords and we have here the World card. Eight of Swords typically represents being inside your own head, and the World card here typically represents a new path coming into play for you. I think one of the biggest highs about this year is that by just simply thinking about something you want to do, it feels so easy to create it. Manifestation is a very common and powerful theme and reoccurring theme that I'm seeing showing up in your year so far. And this is the energy of just like thinking about something and suddenly it happens. You guys will get to that level where manifesting is that easy. Guys, there are times where I'm just thinking about something happening throughout the day and then I manifested it and it happens throughout the day. You know, I think of a certain person texting me and they're texting me something specific and then boom, they text me something specific later on. So you can have that happen when you start getting into that rhythm and that flow of manifesting. And I think that for you guys, whatever you think about can most certainly come to life here in 2024. So one thing I want you guys to not do, because I'm going to give advice in this portion as well with your roses, make sure you are not pushing or shrugging off any sort of ideas. Make sure you are listening to the thoughts you're having, because there's going to be a lot of creativity behind them. I feel the things you're thinking about are going to be wonderful creations that you can make happen. So don't shut yourself out. Don't incorporate doubt into the thoughts and the ideas that you have here in 2024, because you can really bring them to life here this year. Okay, so that's really wonderful to see. Let's go ahead and expand though, guys, and see what these expansion cards have to say. So what do we have here in regards to these expansion cards for this second rose for Leos throughout 2024? We have here the Tower, baby. Hell yeah. Moving into the next card, we have here the Four of Pentacles. And then our last expansion set's going to be the Ace of Cups. And we have here the Five of Cups showing up too. Now, Four of Pentacles is the energy of like what you've held on to. So what I think's happening here for many of you guys, which is going to be massive too, Eight of Swords to the World card represents like a whole new way of thinking. So your second rose of the year is the way you are thinking is changing. You are expanding the way you think. You are expanding the way your mind works in such a beautiful and powerful way. This is giving me the energy of like having a very positive mindset. So in 2024, many of you may adapt and adopt a very powerful mindset. The way you think and the way you see things may be so much more beautifully perceived than ways that they previously were. So with the Tower card showing up here to the Four of Pentacles, you're able to completely shatter old thinking patterns that do not serve you in the slightest. So prior to 2024, if you've had a lot of bad negative thinking habits, if you've had a lot of negative thoughts that you fed into very, very frequently, if you've always been the person who felt like you're constantly stuck inside your head and you can't get out of that dark side of your head, you're figuring out in 2024 the ways to change your thinking patterns and to completely disrupt what doesn't serve you. So you're letting go of the bad thinking patterns and you're bringing in some really, really powerful and positive ones this year. Now, your next part of the expansion is going to be the Ace of Cups here to the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is often a card that represents something missing in life, something you've lost. It's a sad time. And the thing that a lot of people don't recognize about the Five of Cups is what's right behind this woman is these two cups that are left standing. So what is knocked over? What's knocked over is three cups. The Three of Cups symbolizes happiness in tarot. But what's left over is two cups, and the Two of Cups in tarot represents connection. It represents connecting to something wonderful, connecting to something you'll love. So I think what a lot of you are seeing here too this year with this rose is that you're having a totally different outlook on life. Sure, Three of Cups spilt over. I've lost things in life that I've cared about. I've lost things in life that were important to me. However, though, I still have more to gain with those Two of Cups that are left standing. I still have so much more to gain in this life, even if I've lost so much. So I think that the biggest part of this rose is that you're starting to see things in so much of a more positive and perspective light. I'm not fixated anymore, is what you're saying, on the bad stuff or the things I've lost. I'm focused and I'm driven on the things I can gain. I'm focused and I'm driven on what I have, you know? I think a lot of you are going to be tapping into such, gratitude energies, grateful energies this year. And gratitude is super powerful too, right? Now we have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups here is like, hey, there's so much more in life to love, right? So at the end of the day, you may love, you may lose. So that happens. But at the same time, there's always more to love. So I think your basic perspective is totally changing in comparison to what your base perspective used to be, right? So the way you used to operate in the ways you think and in the ways you have your habits, you are totally different now. Your thinking patterns are different. The way you operate is different. Your actions are different. You are bringing in a much more positive reinforcement. By the way, word to the wise, for those of you that don't know what positive reinforcement is, it's when you are constantly in a state of awareness and you catch yourself when you're slipping into something negative, and then you replace that negativity with something positive. So you're reinforcing positivity. Let's say, for example, you have a negative thought about yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, ugh, why does my nose look like that? You catch yourself and then you reinforce something positive about your nose. You know what? My nose is perfect the way it is, right? At the end of the day, I have a beautiful nose. I'm a beautiful person. That is that. You bring in that reinforcement enough, you start changing your beliefs and you start washing out that negativity and inviting in true positivity, right? So really cool stuff here to see. So this second rose is great. I feel for the first rose, like I mentioned to you guys previously, has a lot to do with manifestation, and it also has a lot to do with you guys being vulnerable. So that's going to be a great point for 2024. But what's also great is just your outlook on life is changing, and having such a positive outlook it's not only going to create wonderful things for you, but it's going to open up so much opportunity. And it's also a powerful way to inspire people and to influence people to live a happy and healthy life. And I think that by you guys embodying this energy this year, you're definitely going to rub off on people around you in a positive way, and that's going to be really wonderful too, to see how you can influence people to be happy in your life because you're doing it for yourself. That's the example of, or not even example, that is the definition of light working in my book. Light working is doing what you can to be your best self, to inspire other people to do the same. And as you're raising your vibrational frequency, you end up raising the vibrational frequency of others, because by you doing good by yourself, other people are inspired by that and wish to do the same. All right. So really, really cool stuff, guys. Let's go ahead and move forward to your final rose. Your final rose here for 2024, King of Wands and the Five of Wands. The ability to be incredibly unbothered, okay? When you think about a lion, by the way, I love that the lion shows up because we're reading for Leos, but when you think about a lion, is a lion going to be bothered by a little animal that can't do anything at all? Is a lion going to be bothered by a lemur? Probably not, because a lion can just eat the lemur at the end of the day too. So this is the energy this year where a lot of you guys are embodying your inner lion. You're recognizing, I'm a powerful person. Why should I be bothered by people who aren't on my level? Right? A lemur is not on the level like a lion. And that's just facts. When we're going into the animal kingdom, the lion will win every time, So you got to look at life that way too. If people aren't on your level, and if people are coming in trying to cause trouble with that Five of Wands, guess what? They're not on your level, because you're not looking to cause trouble. You're looking for success, positivity. You're looking for peace, right? So you're in a space here in 2024 where you're doing the best you can to elevate yourself. And for the people who are making trouble, those are individuals that don't know how to elevate themselves. So usually it comes from a form or a root of jealousy, where they're unhappy that you're doing you because they don't know how to do them. So what we're doing here with this final rose is the ability to recognize your power, the ability to recognize that you're on your own level this year. You don't need to compare yourself with anybody else. And you also don't need to worry if other people are trying to compare themselves to you or trying to bring themselves down, okay? Or bring you down in the process. All that matters is that you stay focused on your elevation. And I think many of you are on that path. You're really embodying the energy of just not giving a fuck. And the truth is that when you embody the subtle art of not giving a fuck, nothing can affect you because you've made the conscious choice that it can't. Now let's talk about choice for a second. We have a choice each and every single day. We can choose to be positive about life. We can choose to be negative. We can choose to embrace people's nasty comments, or we can choose to ignore them because nobody knows you better than you know yourself, right? So this year, it's awesome to see you guys in that energy where it's like, I just don't give a fuck. If people want to cause drama, they can try, but I'm not giving any attention to it. I'm not giving them any power. By me just focusing on myself and living my best life, nothing can affect me. So you're going to be completely unbothered here, and that's a wonderful rose to see. Anyhow, let's have a look, man. Let's get these expansion cards and see what's going on for the Leos. Let's expand on this final rose, please, for Leo throughout the year of 2024. First card is going to be the 10 of Pentacles. Looking at its pairing, we have here the 7 of Wands. And then looking at our next pair, we have here the World. And we have here the Strength card, which is awesome. As you can see, that is your card here, the Strength. It represents the zodiac of Leo. So 10 of Pentacles here to the 7 of Wands. In the past, 7 of Wands, maybe you might have felt like you've needed to defend yourself. But when a person is so comfortable and secure within who they are, they don't really need to defend themselves. It's like, I don't need to prove nothing to you, right? You ever see people like that where like somebody could be talking the most shit and they just don't care? Because it's like, why do I need to defend myself? Why do I need to tell you about who I am? I know who I am. I'm secure within me. So I don't need to get all defensive. A lot of the time, people who tend to be very insecure tend to be way more defensive because they have to prove there's something that they're not. But at the end of the day, that comes from a lack of security within themselves. Leos, you're not in that energy at all in 2024. 10 of Pentacles says, I'm secure within me, baby. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know where my interests align, where my visions align, and that's all that matters. So at the end of the day, nobody can affect you if you don't let them. And the more security you have within yourself, nothing else matters. So this rose says in 2024, the security you're going to find within you is immeasurable. Immeasurable, okay? You are going to feel so secure in who you are, and the way you carry yourself is going to be powerful. When a person is whole and complete and secure within themselves, they are powerful, powerful people, and people can pick up and sense that energy from miles and miles away. So that also makes you very attractive, Leo. Just saying. So maybe in the love department, one way or another, you know, some people are going to find that sexy, okay? Anyhow, though, Leo, you also have here a World card and you have here the Strength, right? So this year, you've become a very strong person. I think for all the Leo peeps, throughout all these roses we've read so far, a big common theme is how strong you're becoming. You are tapping into an energy where you are a powerful manifester. You're tapping into energies where you have a super solid mindset. You are unaffected by people and their bullshit. This is the year where you are seeing strength in ways you've never seen before, and it's greatly changing your life for the better. Looking at the World card, that's the energy of your life shifting. Okay, brand new life, brand new world is what you're tapping into here in 2024. So with this final rose coming into play about you guys being unbothered, just know and acknowledge when you stay focused on you and you don't let other people or let the other bullshit in, you are maximizing your growth and you are maximizing your happiness and you are maximizing your best life while not letting anybody else interfere. Okay? Fuck yeah, Leo. I love it, okay? All right, Leo. We have finished up here with your, with your rose session. We're going to get into the thorn section here in a moment or so. I'm probably going to do like a jump cut to it. But either way, bear with me and then we'll hop on into your thorns, okay? All right, Team Leo, we're hopping on into your thorn section now. I do want to preface again that thorns are nothing to be afraid of. This is basically going to be the lows of the year, but as I always say, tarot is 100% avoidable. So with that being said, we can avoid any of these thorns here. So let's take a look here at some of the lows of the year, things we want to watch out for, things we want to avoid, and let's go ahead and get that info. What do we got showing up here for Leo's first thorn throughout the year of 2024? What do we got showing up here for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Zodiac. What is going to be the first thorn for the year of 2024? Starting out with our first thorn, we have here a 3 of Pentacles, and we have here a 10 of Wands. Taking a look here at the next thorn for Team Leo, what do we got showing up for you guys? We have here a 10 of Pentacles paired to a 2 of Wands. And then taking a look here at our last thorn for the year of 2024, what's going to be the last thorn showing up for Leo peeps? We have here a 3 of Swords, and we have here a Page of Swords showing up as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with your first thorn first. Now, I do want to touch base here with the 3 of Pentacles paired to the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands in tarot can typically represent that you have a lot of burdens or you're having a lot of struggles. I think that right now with the 3 of Pentacles here, 3 of Pentacles is about realizing that any kind of burden or struggle you go through, you're able to get through. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a mindset that you can get through burdens or struggles, you're going to always think you're stuck and you're going to remain stuck where you are. So the one thorn we want to watch out for is the ability or sorry, the inability to think that we can overcome something. If you feel stuck in 2024, you need to know that any challenge or curveball that's thrown your way, you have the ability to overcome it. But the moment, Leo, you start telling yourself, this isn't working out, this can't work out, then you're going to put yourself into a perspective where you're priming yourself to fail. Okay? So at any time, if you're telling yourself, this will not work out for me, this will not happen, if you're telling yourself that, that is the reality you are reinforcing. So we want to be careful with language, right? We want to be careful with can't, won't, never, right? We want to watch out for those types of buzzwords because those are buzzwords of lack. And as always with law of attraction and manifestation, which has shown up tons in your video today, the truth is like the more that we embrace lack, the more that we are not living in abundance. And therefore, if we're not in the energy of abundance, we're not going to manifest abundance. We're only going to manifest more lack. So really, really be careful with this, okay? Because I see some of you guys screwing yourselves over by telling yourself you can't do it. You know, this business I started, I can't do it. It's just not working out. This relationship I'm in, I can't do it. It's just not working out. I don't do relationships, or I'm not good at love. It's like when you start getting into these types of energies, this is where you're going to set yourself apart from success. All right. So we want to watch out for that. Let's go ahead and get our expansion sets and see what's showing up for you. What's going to be the first expansion set here for Leos on this first thorn throughout the year of 2024. Let's take a look. First card coming out is Six of Pentacles. Following card here is an Emperor. Taking a look here at the next card, we have here the Four of Wands, and we have here the Devil for the next set as well. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I want to mention first and foremost, Six of Pentacles here to the Emperor. Six of Pentacles is about things flowing smoothly, perfectly, everything's in total perfect alignment. Emperor card, however, can be a card of control. It could be a card here as well of needing things to go your way. I think that what you might find in 2024 in terms of a thorn is you may find that things aren't going as quickly as you would like them to, or going in the way or the route exactly you planned. So it doesn't mean that things aren't working out when things don't go our way. That's one major factor I want to express, and I think it's a very important topic to express here throughout all of 2024. Let's say, for example, you started a business, but it didn't turn out to be the business you expected. Maybe it has a completely different customer base than you've intended. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It just means that it works better for a different type of demographic. Let's say, for example, you got into a relationship, and at the end of the day, you had a plan for what this relationship would be like, but maybe it's totally different. Maybe different isn't necessarily a bad thing. So be mindful of not focusing too hard on everything going according to plan, because just because something didn't necessarily go according to your plan doesn't mean that it's bad for you. It doesn't mean that it can't even be better than what you've planned for yourself. So that's a major thing to show up here, and I definitely wanted to touch on that, right? Because Ten of Wands here is the energy of burden. So maybe you feel burdened that something isn't working out how you intended it to. But maybe it's actually working out even better than you intended, but because you're so caught up on your intentions, you're not seeing the success and the growth you're having. So you want to watch out for mindsets like these, because they can really stop and slow you down from actually attaining success in 2024. Having a look here at the next expansion set, we have here the Four of Wands, and we have here the Devil. Four of Wands is often representative of stability, and the Devil as well is a card that's representative of feeling stuck. Is your environment actually an environment you're happy to be in? Or is it an environment in where you feel like you're doing the same shit different day but not experiencing any growth? This is what we want to watch out for too. Just because something in your life is showing up as consistent doesn't mean that it's good for you. So you want to watch out for falling in the trap of consistency but not seeing growth behind it. Now, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, sometimes growth takes a while with certain things. Let's say, for example, maybe you start a business, you're consistent with the business you start. Sure, it may take a while before you see growth, but if you're feeling unhappy with what you're doing, if you're unhappy with the process, and if you're feeling stuck and not seeing things grow, then you may want to reconsider the type of environment you're in. Because just because this environment may work for one person, it may not work for you. So that's something really important to talk about as well. You might find yourself in 2024, maybe a friend says, hey, there's this thing I've been doing that works really well for me. You should try it. So you try it and you're not really a big fan of it, but it works so well for your friends. So you keep on doing it. But the more you keep keep doing it, you're not seeing results. The point here is that just because something works for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to inherently work for you. So you want to be incredibly mindful of not being stuck in traps like that. Okay? It's okay that if you're doing something you love and you're not seeing growth yet, it's okay to keep doing that. It's okay because at the end of the day, you're in an environment you love where you don't feel stuck, repressed, or trapped. However, though, if you're doing something for the sake of a result, but you're not happy with the process, that's going to make you feel more burdened than anything. This could be the energy, for example, of like getting a job that pays a lot of money that you're miserable at. That's not going to create success in the long term. Sure, you'll make a lot of money, but then what are you going to do? You're going to spend that money to make yourself feel better because you hate your fucking job, So these are things to watch out for in 2024. We want to make sure that your environment is priming you for success, because things will work out for you very well if you're in a good environment. However, though, if you're in a bad environment here, Leo, you're not going to feel happy at all. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel trapped. Things are not going to go your way. You're going to feel frustrated with the process, and you're not going to be seeing any sort of success come in because you're not happy with what you're doing in the first place. If somebody is loving what they do, they are 95% more likely to be successful in what they're doing because they love it. For a person who's doing something that they don't necessarily love, they're more likely to give up because they hate what they're doing, right? And they feel stuck in that kind of environment. So being mindful of your environment in 2024 in terms of your goals, in terms of your success, is going to be a really, really important type of thing to pay attention to. Okay? All right, guys, that's what I have here for your first thorn. At the end of the day, just remember, things might not go your way this year, but it doesn't mean that they're not working out for you. However, watch out from being stuck. Watch out for being trapped. Don't just do things for the sake of a goal. Right? At the end of the day, make sure you love what it is you're doing and you love the goal that you're working towards. Because the moment we start, for example, again, maybe doing something for money, but we hate what we're doing, we're not going to actually see success come from that. Instead, we're going to see quite the opposite. So you want to make sure that you're focused up here this year on what you love. And if you're feeling burdened and unhappy with the types of things you've made investments into, recognize those aren't the right investments and start putting your energy into what is. Okay? All right, hopping on into our next thorn, everybody. We have here the 10 of Pentacles and we have here the 2 of Wands. I think that this year, you want to be really careful of watching out for overlooking your success and trying to just jump into something else. This is kind of giving me the energy, Leo, of you have something good right in front of you, but you still might want more. It's okay to focus on one thing and not have to keep on going. This is kind of giving me the energy of like entrepreneurs who want to start like 7 different businesses rather than just focus a lot of their intention into just one. A lot of the time when people are successful, they are putting all their energy, they're going all in on one thing first before they start diversifying. I kind of get that feeling here for you where it's like you have something really good right in front of you, but maybe you want to expand more and it's going to take your attention and your time away from what you've been working so hard on. And now, guys, I don't want you to think that this whole reading is just about business and money. It can literally be anything. Maybe you have a relationship in your life you've been working incredibly hard on. You don't want to take away your time from that. You want to maximize the energy you're putting into it to get the best result. So the point here with this thorn is don't miss out on maximizing the most amount of success in anything or any connection or any situation you're in 2024 just because you're thinking about expansion. You don't want to pull away from the good stuff and the stuff that is working for you. You don't want to pull away from the good people in your life who are awesome people to you, right? So however that applies, you want to make sure you're maximizing success here, okay? So that's one thing to be careful and to watch out for, because I do see some of you basically kind of taking your attention off of what's good, what's been working for you, and then just jumping into something else in hopes to expand. You might not want to do that yet. You might want to expand after your current situation is overflowing with so much abundance, right? For example, if you are at a point in time where your business is doing so well, where it's automated and you don't have to worry too much about it, then yeah, start another business, right? If your relationship is going incredibly well to the point where you're reaching like tons and tons of goals with your partner, sure, you can give more time to yourself and other things you want to invest in, but make sure you're just putting in the effort right now into the things that are working in 2024. All right, but let's take a look here at this thorn. We're going to get our first expansion set here for Leos regarding our second thorn. And what do we have? We have here a 4 of Pentacles, and that 4 of Pentacles is going to be paired here to the 10 of Pentacles coming out here again. Yeah, you want to hold on to the good stuff. I feel like Spirit here is like, that cannot be expressed enough. You want to hold on to the good stuff this year, because if you let it go and if you are deferring your attention from what's working, you're going to miss out on being able to maximize that. All right. Moving on into your next expansion set. What's going to be the next expansion set here for Leo regarding their second thorn? We have here the Three of Wands, and we have here the Page of Cups. Interesting. Three of Wands typically is representative of waiting. So holding out, waiting for something to change, waiting for something to happen. And the Page of Cups showing up here is the card about actually taking drive, taking control, and putting your investment and your energy and your love into whatever it is you're dealing with and whatever it is you're doing. So I almost kind of feel here for you guys with this showing up, this expansion set's trying to say, hey, at the end of the day here, don't wait for things to happen in life. If you have something in front of you like a good opportunity, get on that opportunity. Don't wait for that opportunity to magically work out for you. I see a lot of people in my life, even some of my closest friends, who have opportunities that are right in front of their face and they never take it. They don't. They wait for things to just magically work out. And at the end of the day, that's never going to happen in life. Things aren't going to just magically happen for you. You know, life is not happening to you. You are happening to life, if you want to put it in that perspective, right? So at the end of the day, you are a creator. And if you see opportunities in front of you this year in 2024, don't wait for those opportunities to just unfold. Make sure you're capitalizing on them. Make sure you're taking them, right? It's like, once again, I feel like there's no other way to expand on this. It's all giving you the same message. If you have something good in front of you, really, really invest in it. Put your all in there. Go all in. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid. Because the moment you start to deter from what's good and what's working is the moment where maybe you're going to miss out on that opportunity to maximize success here, or maybe you're going to miss out in general to have this good thing that's already here, right? Especially if you start deterring from it. So try to do your best here to stay focused on what works and put a lot of your energy there in 2024. That would be my advice here on how to avoid the alternative. Okay. All right, guys, having a look here at your last thorn, we have here the Three of Swords and the Page of Swords. I am so guilty of this thorn. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so guilty of this as a Cancer. This thorn here says, stop looking in the direction of pain. All right, stop looking in the direction of pain. And I've been here before in my life, you know, not recently or in recent years, but when I was a lot younger, I would always try to constantly look at things in my life that are making me unhappy, things in my life that are causing me pain. And I felt that by being in that energy of being so comforted and so used to pain, I would only look for painful situations. And that's the thing, guys. When I didn't truly believe that I could be happy, and if I only believed that I can only be sad and depressed for the rest of my life, I was actively only seeking out systems and situations that made me unhappy. It was all about my perspective. It was all about my perception, right? So I didn't believe in my past I could be a happy person. So I believed I would always be miserable. And therefore, I always encountered miserable situations. Because even if a good situation was in front of me, I'd make it miserable, you know? So that's what I was guilty of. And that's something you really want to watch out for here in 2024, okay? If you currently have a belief about yourself that you're not a happy person, or that good things don't happen to you, or that you always encounter bad and heartbreaking situations, you best believe you're going to turn a good situation to a bad one. And if a bad situation's there, you're going to feed into it just as much. So you want to watch out for that, because it's not going to be helping you or aiding you in any sort of way. It's only going to be something that hurts you. So let's get an expansion set here on this last thorn for Leo. What do we got showing up here in regards to this final thorn for Team Leo throughout 2024? We got here the Hierophant, and we got here the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, don't commit and don't go looking for the bad stuff. If you are looking for negativity, you're going to find it, right? Just like if you're looking for positivity, you're going to find it too. Whatever you're looking for, you're going to find. And I think that's the main kind of point showing up here in this reading. So really be mindful of that. Do your best here to isolate from looking for negative things, and try to do your best here to make a commitment to yourself that I'm only trying to look and see the good in all situations. Because in every situation, there's a positive side and a negative side. And if you choose to look at the good stuff, if you choose to look at the positive side, you're going to have so much of a better return in energy and in what you get back in general. Okay. So yeah, I see here with the Page of Swords, right? Page of Swords is like a card about, you know, taking a look at things or keeping a watchful eye. If you're only looking into what's bringing you pain, if you're only looking into perceptions that you're not good enough, if you're only looking into perceptions that are, I'm never going to be happy, whatever you look for is what you're going to find. So really make sure what you're looking for this year is the good stuff, you know? Because at the end of the day, if you want to find happiness, you got to believe that you can have it. If you want to find love, you got to understand that you're worthy of being loved, right? So these are super important messages. Let's get our last expansion set for you on this final thorn, and that's going to be here the Ace of Wands paired here with the Seven of Pentacles. Ace of Wands here is a card that's representative about your future. It represents the future you're creating, the direction you're heading in. And Seven of Pentacles here is a card about your investments. So do you want to invest in a future where you are looking for good things to happen to you? Or do you want to invest in a future where you're looking for bad things to happen? I think a lot of you that are watching right now are like, I want to look for the good. And if you want to look for the good, you have to keep a watchful eye out for all the good stuff in all of the situations and circumstances you're dealing with. If you only go searching for bad things in everything, that's all you're ever going to find. So for the foreseeable future, how you decide to perceive is exactly what you will receive, okay? And it can go on either side of the coin, positive nor negative, either way. So take a look at what kind of perception you want to tap into this year. And I would highly recommend avoiding a negative perception. I would highly recommend focusing on seeing the good in things, because the more that you can see that, the more you're going to see the good in everything. Even if it's a rough situation, you'll see the positive aspect to it too. All right. All right, Team Leo, this is what I have here for your thorns. Hopefully I was able to help you guys out in terms with advice to kind of navigate these types of situations. These thorns were actually not too bad in comparison to some of the other thorns I've seen for other zodiac signs this year. So like I mentioned, for Leo from the rip, I felt like you guys are having an awesome year, and I still feel that way 100%. But these are just some things you want to watch out for, because if we start slipping into these thorns and we're not taking the advice and we're, just falling into these thorns, they can really hurt us this year and have us miss out on good things that we're going to experience, okay? All right, Leo, let's go ahead and move forward. We're going to hop on into your next section, and your next section is going to be what you need to do this year to become your greatest version. So we'll take a look at that, and then we'll close out the reading here with an overall final outcome, okay? All right, though, guys, let's go ahead and get these cards together, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Let's take a look. So Leos, we're going to hop on in. What do you need to do now to become your greatest version? Let's take a look into that information and see what comes out for 2024. What do we got showing up here for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout 2024. What do they need to do to become their greatest version? Three of Pentacles. Start working together with yourself more. Be your biggest advocate. Recognize that when you work well with yourself, you're going to see results no matter what. At the end of the day, being a person who invests in themselves is going to be the person who gets the best return on investment. You will get the best ROI from investing in you, not from investing in other people, not from investing in other situations, but the more that you invest in yourself, you will not only become your greatest version and your best self, but you will always get your best return on investment, okay? So really important for 2024. What else does Leo have to do here to become their greatest version? We have here the Knight of Wands showing up, going after what makes you feel passionate. Knight of Wands here as well, though, too, is about taking the time to recognize a good opportunity when it's there and to make sure you jump on it quickly. This is about not waiting around, waiting for things to happen. It's about acknowledging if something good is right there in front of me, it's time to go for it. It's not time to play games. It's time to get to work. So it's about really being aware of the opportunities you have this year. I feel like that's going to help you be your greatest version as much as possible, because when you can see a window of opportunity and you capitalize on it, you're creating a lot of success for yourself. Now, we also have here a Page of Swords coming in terms of how to be your best self. Pay close attention, Leo, to what you feel hesitant to do, and do it anyhow. People that are their greatest versions don't allow fear to hold themselves back. And all fear is fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is just a falsified reality that doesn't necessarily exist, but it's our contribution of the worst likely outcomes that we imagine, or the worst likely outcomes that we think about. So at the end of the day, fear isn't an actual reality. It's just something we think about. So at the end of the day here, if you go towards your fear and you actually decide to embrace the things you're scared of, you are going to note and acknowledge that you're overcoming those fears. The more that you go after what scares you or do what scares you, the less scary it becomes. So if you want to become your greatest version this year, if you're noticing you're hesitant in certain areas of life, maybe you're hesitant in your social life, you're hesitant in your business life, you're hesitant to make any sort of big moves this year, the more that you not make those moves, the more it's going to hurt you. But if you decide to say, fuck it, I'm going to embrace the fear and go for it anyhow, it's going to be less scary each and every single time. You're going to get to the point where you are becoming the beast, right? The lion who isn't fearful of anything. And that Page of Swords here says, if you can cut through the fear, you can start to see that you're no longer A, going to be held back by the things that you were fearful of, but B, you're going to be able to create so much more success because you're doing what scares you, and nothing holds you back anymore. Nothing stops you anymore, right? You can do whatever the hell you want. So everybody has their own set of fears. Some people are scared of starting businesses. Some people are scared of falling in love. Some people are scared of going after a dream. Maybe it's about moving somewhere that's thousands of miles away and it scares them. But most of the time we get through those fears after we go into them, after we face them. And it's like the best decision we ever made, you know? We were like, what were we so scared of? This is fucking awesome. I'm so glad that I did this, right? So if you want to become your greatest version, embrace your fears. Because not only is it going to show you how strong you are as a person, but at the same time here too, Team Leo, it's going to show you, oh my God, I was freaked out about this, but this is actually really, really cool, you know? So you get to unlock a lot more in your life instead of being so held back. All right, let's get a few more cards as to what you need to do to be your greatest version. Then we'll sign off with your overall outcome, okay? What else does Leo need to do this year for themselves to become their greatest self? 5 of Cups showing up over here, and the 4 of Cups. Absolutely. You need to make sure, if you want to be your greatest version this year, that you're no longer ignoring whatever is trying to come up on an emotional level. I always tell people, feeling is healing. And as annoying as it might be with how many times I say that on my YouTube channel, it's incredibly true. You have to feel in order to heal. And if you're avoiding your feelings, what you're going to notice is you're always going to feel stuck with those feelings. Now, if you actually allow them to come to the surface and you process what you feel, you're going to release it in due time. So I think that this year in 2024, you will probably notice there's a lot of things that you've repressed. I'm sure with the retrogrades coming this year, I'm sure with a lot of the astrology we have this year, there may be many moments where you start to encounter yourself being triggered and seeing things that were once beneath the surface come to the surface. Use those opportunity periods to release. Okay, guys? Use those opportunity periods to feel, because when you feel, you'll heal, and you'll no longer have any of that emotional residue or, heavy emotions and burdens that were once buried in here. They're not going to be a part of you anymore. You're going to feel lighter going forward, and that's going to help be an asset to you being your greatest version because you don't have anything weighing you down. So this is things that are, known as, what's the word I'm looking for here? Usually like the 10 of Wands, burdens, right? These are burdens no longer being around. These are heavy situations you've held onto for years, finally being released. It's like, if you want to be your greatest version, letting go of all that and deciding to move into high vibration is going to help you. Okay. So I really feel like taking the time to let whatever comes up come up and to take the time to feel it, you will indeed heal it, and you will walk forward into being a better version of yourself, and also a much lighter version of yourself here too. Okay. All right, Leo, I like it. I think these are all great examples and great points of how to be your greatest version. At the core though, if you want to be your greatest version, really take the time out this year to imagine who you'd like to be. Who would you be most happiest with if this was you, right? Like, what version of yourself would you be the most happiest with? Would you be happy with yourself and feel like your greatest version if you had a lot of money? Would you feel proud of yourself if you were a loving and kind person? Whatever your greatest version is, take the time this year to imagine that. And then start embodying the energy that version of you has. So let's say, for example, your greatest version is a person who has a lot of money. Start embodying a lot of money. Well, Ant, how do I do that? Figure that out, right? How am I going to make more money? What kind of job would I need to make the money to be my greatest version? What kind of steps do I have to take? What kind of actions do I have to take? Right? And when you can take a look at what you would want and desire, you can come up with a game plan to shift and become that person. So if your greatest version is abundant, then it's time to start taking, the steps here to become abundant. If the version of yourself that's the greatest is loving, then it's time to start becoming a loving person, especially if your current version is cold and detached. So you have to embody the energy of what your greatest version is, and you will become that throughout this entire year, so long as you keep on embodying that energy. All right. Awesome. 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 All right, Team Leo, we're here now. We're going to get to your overall outcome. I know it's a super long video, so if you made it to the end, you're a real one. Really appreciate you. But let's take a look here at your overall outcome for the year of 2024, and we'll see what we got going on. What do we got showing up here for Leo throughout the entire year of 2024? What is their overall outcome? And what do we got? 7 of Pentacles, baby. I love it. It's a year of growth, dude. It really, really is. I feel like you guys are growing in such a wonderful way. You're making wonderful investments. But what's awesome about the 7 of Pentacles is the 7 of Pentacles is typically the card of planting seeds. Now, when you plant your seeds, you're planting seeds in hopes, that they turn into wonderful crops. So this year, you're planting a ton of seeds, but you're making sure you water them. You're making sure you put your seeds in the right soil. You're making sure your seeds get sunlight so that by the time of the year where it's time to harvest, you have a wonderful harvest, a plentiful harvest with everything you've worked so hard to achieve, okay? So I think a lot of you guys in 2024 are going to be planting really wonderful seeds. They're going to grow, and when it does come time to harvest, you're going to be incredibly proud and happy with the plentiful harvest you're going to have. This is a big year, guys. It's a big year for your zodiac sign. I really feel like you have so much potential to maximize this year to be the best year yet. So I really want to tell y'all, take the opportunities that that you've seen in this video, the insight opportunities you've seen, capitalize on them. Anything to watch out for and avoid, capitalize on that too. Watch out for that, avoid that. I would even recommend, if you want, go back in the video, jot down some notes of some do's and don'ts for the year. If there's anything that stuck out to you in particular, write it down as well, because I feel like you have a lot of potential this year, but it's all going to come down to you, Leo, if you're willing to access it. Okay? All right, guys. With that all being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed your yearly reading for the year of 2024. This was a special one, and it was a good one. So I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I hope I was able to help in any way possible. As always, Team Leo, I do want to mention before we sign off, if you want a personal read, you guys can come over to my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. First link in the description below. I'd be happy to book you there. If you are a new member of this channel, feel free to subscribe. I'd be happy to have you and welcome you here into the Soul family. So if you're new, come on down and subscribe, man. I'd be happy to hang out with you, man. But yeah, overall, Leo, that's what we got here. So let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know how you felt down below. And guys, seriously, have a wonderful, wonderful year. You definitely have the opportunity to make this a really, really great year. So I'm super excited for you, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.